Alright, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on Beyond At. This RV Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant has been disconnected from its last remaining power line. Now the International Atomic Energy Agency has said that the plant is only now relying on a reserve line, and this comes on the heels of an energy battle between Moscow and the West on export. Gets your details. Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant again lost connection to the last remaining main external power line. The UN nuclear watched on International Atomic Energy Agency said on Saturday, while Moscow keeps its main gas pipeline to Germany shut, stepping up an energy war with the West. Zaporizhzhia, Europe's largest nuclear power station, has been controlled by Russian troops since soon after their invasion of Ukraine in February. The IAEA also said only one of the station's 6 reactors remained in operation, but it continues to supply electricity to the grid through a reserve line. It has become one of the focal points of the conflict, with each side blaming the other for shelling around the plant. Transmission lines to the plant were cut last week, and the facility was cut off from the national grid for the first time in its history, prompting power cuts in various regions of Ukraine. Emergency generators kicked in to keep the vital cooling process running. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky blamed Russian shelling for the cutoff and said a radiation leak had narrowly been avoided, while Russia's defense ministry on Saturday blamed Ukraine for the shelling. Reuters could not confirm any detailed sales of the Russian accusations. Ukraine and the West have said Russia is using the site as a base for heavy weapons in a move to discourage Ukraine from firing on it, which Russia denies. Russia has so far resisted international calls to pull troops out of the plant and demilitarize the area. Meanwhile, Russia kept one of its main gas supply routes to Europe shut on Saturday, stoking fears of winter fuel shortages, already struggling to tame soaring gas prices. European leaders had expected the Nord Stream 1 pipeline to resume flows after maintenance this week, but Russia abruptly cancelled the restart, citing an oil leak. Europe has accused Russia of weaponizing energy supplies in what Moscow has called an economic war with the West over the fallout from Russia's invasion. Moscow puts the blame on Western sanctions and technical issues for supply disruptions. And ultimate this investigates oil and gas analyst Nathan Piper shares his insights into the energy war that is playing out between Russia and Europe. Listening. This is the further stat in the economic war against Europe. So Russia was a reliable supplier of energy up until last year, and even through the Cold War. They supply gas to Germany, and but as part of the invasion into Ukraine, and they've continued to restrict gas supplies to Europe, and this is just the final twist in a bit of an endgame. Really going into winter where they've severely restricted gas even further. With the shutdown of Nord Stream 1, we're at prices which are 10 to 15 times a 10-year average. So these are prices that are causing severe demand destruction across the whole of Europe. So we're seeing major bits of industry shutting down now because they can't afford to buy gas and make whatever they make, whether it's steel or fertilizer or glass. So we're already seeing industry shutting down, which is reducing demand, but not in the way that I don't think people intend it to.